Hey, Tom Hegna here. I've been having a kind of a grind of a week this week. I did 6 presentations in 36 hours. I'm driving from Columbus, Ohio over to Pittsburgh. Have another one tonight. It's been kind of a tough week, and it kind of reminded me of when I was a struggling agent. And I've been talking to a number of agents lately, and some people struggle at this business. They're good looking, they're hard working, they don't understand why they can't make it in the business. And so I thought maybe I would just share some ideas. I think I can share some knowledge with you because I too was a struggling agent, all right? And let me just share with you some of the things that I did that helped me. Don't worry, I'm not driving. I'm pulled over at a rest area to do this. But let me share with you some of the things that I did that took me from a struggling agent to where now, in the industry, I'm considered one of the experts in retirement income. It didn't happen overnight, and I did struggle as a new agent. So the first thing I would tell you is you got to get your mind straight. You got to understand that your mind is very powerful. And one of the first things I did was read the book Think and Grow Rich. And it really had an impact on me. And I found out that if I put my mind on something, I can accomplish anything I want. My first year in the business, I was told by somebody that if you don't make MDRT, you don't count in this business. And I wanted to count. So my overriding goal my first year was to make MDRT. Now that's impossible in some people's minds, but in my mind it wasn't impossible. And I did qualify for the MDRT in my first year. The second thing is, I think you got to know that what you do is so important, that you are in fact living a life of significance, and that's the title of Joe Jordan's book. And just so you know, Joe Jordan was a very powerful influence and mentor to me. And so I would encourage you to read his book of Living a Life of Significance, because if you don't believe what you're doing is important, it's going to be hard in this business. See, you're not a salesperson. Don't think of yourself as trying to sell stuff. You are there to help people. You're there to protect families. You're there to help people retire with dignity. You're there to help people never run out of money. So you've got to know that what you do is very important. I would also ask you, who do you hang out with? If you're going to lunch with a bunch of other struggling agents, that is not where you should be spending your time. You should be spending your time with top producers. Take top producers out to lunch. Meet with attorneys, meet with accountants, meet with pastors, meet with rabbis, meet with centers of influence. When I was a brand new advisor, you know who one of my biggest centers of influence was? He was a new home sales rep for U.S. Homes. One of those guys that sits in a model house. That guy sent me more business in my first year than anybody else. He was a center of influence. And so, figure out what you need to do to build up those centers of influence. There's really 3 ways to increase your production. See the people, see the people, see the people. So what you've got to do is figure out, how can you see 3 to 5 people face to face every day. If that seems too much, start with 2 people, but everybody should be able to see 2 people face to face every day. In fact, if somebody told you would be executed in the morning if you didn't see 2 people face to face, I promise you would find a way to see 2 people face to face. So I know you can do it. For me, when I started my first year, I wanted to see 3 people face to face every day and make a presentation. As I got more experience in the business, my second, third year, I wanted to see 5 to 7 people every day face to face. Now, let me tell you, I think one of the most powerful things that helped me as a new advisor was when somebody told me to plan for fallout. You see, too many agents, they get a policy canceled. Oh my gosh, the guy changed his mind. Oh my goodness, it got canceled. Oh my goodness, it got declined. Oh, the person didn't show up. I got no-showed. Hey, that's the business, baby. You better get used to it. So if you want to see 3 people face to face, you better book 5 appointments every day. All right, you just got to plan for it. Now people say, well, I can't see 5 people, or I can't see 7 people. You're probably not going to. You're going to have some fallout. And you know what? The best thing that can happen is if you do see 5 people and all of a sudden you can't make it happen, you got to call them and say, hey, I'm sorry, my schedule's packed, my appointments are just running, we got to reschedule you. You reschedule them instead of they reschedule you. That gives you the power. All right, so and set more appointments than what you can do. Plan for fallout. If you're expecting to write 5,000 of commission a month, you better write 8,000 to get 5. you're going to have cases declined. You're going to have people change their mind. But another thing that you got to do is work on your words and language. You see, when you're out there on an appointment, you've got to build trust. And it's all about trust. And what I would encourage you to do is handle these objections ahead of time. You know, tell them, hey, you're going to have some people who tell you that whole life's a ripoff. Let me share with you why that's not true. You're going to have some people that tell you, oh, the fees of an annuity are too high. Let me share with you why that's not true. And you handle that in your presentation. Then you're not going to get, you know, ambushed by their brother-in-law or by their neighbor or by Susie Orman. You've got to handle that in your presentation. You've got to build trust with them and go through all of that. You see, a lot of people think it's a knowledge business. As you've heard me say before, this is not a knowledge business anymore. You give me an iPad, the internet, 15 minutes, I can figure out anything I need to figure out. This is now a words business. This is a language business. This is a questions business. And this is a stories business. You know what the top advisors are doing that you're not doing? They're asking better questions. They're telling better stories. They have the right words. When somebody has an objection, they have an immediate answer. And some of the struggling advisors don't have that. Well, look, that's what I do. All of my books, all my audiobooks, all my DVDs, that's what they do. I've developed an online training and coaching program to help you with that. Now, what I will tell you is this. When you're a new advisor, you must invest. You must invest your time and you must invest some money. Let me tell you what I did. When I was brand new, I was recruited by MetLife. I was out in California. I was in the U.S. Army, company commander, 7th Infantry Division Light. I was recruited by MetLife. But I said I didn't want to stay in California, so I moved to Arizona. Didn't know anybody in the state, and I didn't know nothing about nothing. I made $1 million round table my first year. I led my office in production every year. Now, how do you do that if you don't know nothing about nothing and you don't know anybody? Well, every morning when I woke up, I watched VHS tapes of the Kinder brothers. Jack and Gary Kinder, they're in all my books too. Huge influence on my life. I learned their words, their language, their stories. They taught me how to handle objections. All of a sudden, that became my words, my language, my stories. I watched those VHS tapes over and over and over and over until when I was on the appointment, I was Jack and Gary Kinder. I knew what to say, and it worked. All right? And what I'm telling you is I can do the same thing for you. I can teach you the words and language, the questions and the stories. I can do all of this for you. But you've got to invest your time and you got to invest a little money. The other thing I did was I went to MDRT and I ordered the cassette tapes of the top producers in the world. And while I was driving from appointment to appointment, I was listening to their words, their language, their stories that then again became my words, my language, my stories, so that I became a top producer. See, these tools fast-tracked me to the top. Now, how much did I spend on that? Well, maybe I spent $200, $300, $400. I don't remember, but it was a few $100s. But those things made me millions and millions and millions of dollars. So what I'm telling you is if you're going to Starbucks every day, and it takes you 20 minutes to get to Starbucks and 15 minutes to get back. If you spent that 30 minutes with me every morning, and instead of spending $3.50 at Starbucks, you sign up for my online training and coaching program, which is less than that, I can transform your life within 3 or 4 months where you can be a top producer as well. Now, tax day is coming up. And, you know, tax day is a perfect time to introduce yourself to people. It's a great icebreaker to talk to new people. I've got a blog coming out on Monday that will give you some ideas on what to say to people on tax day. So the bottom line to this is I would encourage you to go to my website, tomhegna.com, and I would encourage you to go to one step further. Go to tomhegna.com/webinar. I give you a free webinar. I'm going to demonstrate for you the words and the language that I use. In that webinar, you're going to be given an offer, a special offer, where I will pay for the first 30 days of your online training and coaching so you can try it before you buy it. If you don't believe me, you can quit it at any time you want. But I'm telling you, if you would spend the same amount you're spending at Starbucks, my online training and coaching costs less than a Starbucks every day, okay? And I think you're going to make a lot more money from what I'm going to share with you than what you're going to get from a latte at Starbucks. So, look, those are just some of the ideas that I had as I'm driving across, you know, from Columbus to Pittsburgh. And I want everybody to be successful in this business. And I do believe if you see 3 people face to face every day in this business and you make a presentation, you are going to reach heights and you're going to make more money than you can believe. But you've got to get in front of people. Now, when I was doing it, you know, it was mail, bulk mail and phone calls, bulk mail and phone calls. I don't know that that works anymore, but you've got tools I never had. I had to buy baby lists. I had to buy new home closings. I had to buy people who are getting engaged or married. You get all that for free today. I would build my social network as big as I could be. I want 10,000, 15,000 people in my social network, and then I would be watching and I would be listening. Who's having a baby? Who's getting engaged? Who's getting married? Who just died? Who was just born? Those are all life events, and people buy at the most when there's life events. So use your social media, but these are just some of the ideas that I will share with you. I've got over 10 hours of my best words, language, question stories on my online training. I've got coaching. Before you get to an appointment, you get on your iPhone, you click Client Coach. A video me pop up and I say, hey, tell me about this appointment. Is your client single or married? You click single. How old is this person? 72. Once you hit those 2 buttons, a video me pops up. Okay, so you're going on an appointment with a 7-year-old widow. Here's going to be her key concerns. Here's the products you're probably going to use. Here's going to be her objections. Here's how it handles objections. Here's the questions you should ask her. And I coach you before you go on that appointment. The next day you're going on an appointment with a 45-year-old couple. You hit married 45. A video me pops up and I coach you very differently than I did the day before. The third thing it does is client education. Who's educating your clients? Susie Orman? Dave Ramsey? Ken Fisher? Is that who you want to educate your clients, or would you rather have me educate your clients? And with this program, you can rotate an unlimited number of prospects and clients through. I will tell them, I will show them mathematically and scientifically why they need to use life insurance, annuities, long-term care in order to retire the optimal way. So again, go to tomhegna.com/webinar. That is free. And in that webinar, you will be given an offer that I would encourage you to take advantage of. So, look, those are some ideas today. I hope you have a great tax day, and I will talk to you again soon.